This is definitely going into the Steam family sharing library for my little sister to enjoy. No! It's been almost a week since the release of Black Souls. I thought it was a nice idea to read the Steam reviews for the game! Yay! Similarly to Doki Doki Literature Club, you will experience this game totally blind without any knowledge. Yes, this game pretends to be something that is not. Freaking hell, you don't tell that from the start! In order to get around the 1940... the 1984 censorship we have in 2025, the Steam version of this game has 99 of the NPC bosses and world map removed. You will find the link to the patch on the official developer site. I finished it and speedrun this game 20 times over the last few years, and I got it free from Hyperlink Blog. I was told 20 years was a conspiracy theory that would never actually happen. I wasn't able to buy this game officially anywhere. It's a pretty reasonable review. But don't give the spoiler to people. My wife and I play this game together. It has brought us closer. Yeah, good for you. I mean, if you have a wife, must imagine Grim happy, because you sure hell you won't see it in a actual game. That's a freaking good one. I award you the funny. I'll be blunt to you. This Steam version of the game had to go through a bunch of smoke-about rules and regulations to get here. I highly recommend you to follow this little nice guy here to patch the game for it full content as it should be. In fact, I am very satisfied that as the Steam version is now, and so I can support the creator of this game. Imagine! And may your souls be not tainted. Black. This game is equivalent of catching your girl cheating on your best friend. Bro! I know. One of the best crafted and most haunting stories in the world of video games in recent years. Black Souls has sexual content that might not be suitable for some, and it is possible to play with the HSCs off, but you might miss a bit of fascinating lore. At the end of the day, it is a work of fiction, consuming fiction about bad things, but it's not endorsed bad things in real life. So far, the comments have been so wholesome. I'm proud of the community, eh? So Bricket is best game! Get my thumb up. Don't gaslit by the overwhelming positive reviews into thinking this game might be good, but it's just nasty AF. I see people compare it to Funger a lot, but the difference between the two is Funger is graphic and disturbing, while Black Souls is disgusting and just fucking weird. The Lazy Souls game plagiarism, this isn't taking inspiration, it's one-on-one drinking. The dev could have absolutely do nothing else with the slightest bit of effort. The actual combat and gameplay actually being fun with different bosses and enemies, but after the first 3-4 bosses, the game becomes a cakewalk. There is always the thing that increases the difficulty by every enemy you fight after one shots you before you get to do anything, or completely the steamrolls by you. Now for the actual story. But the twist is fairy tale character, bad, evil, and dark stuff. It feels like the developer actually wanted to make a game at first, and then decided to just rush everything ASAP to crank his Hulk for the poorly drawn agencies. That's a fairly negative review, well documented, and you get my like. Product refunded. Ooh, controversial. I played the patch version of this game. Black Souls does not get my stamp of approval in either case. I think consent between fictional characters is relevant as long as the player is adequately warned that they will be viewing such content. In a way, it is the player whose consent is necessary, as there is no real trigger warning, and that's true. You just literally get a freaking bare-ass menu, and Alice might tell you if you are interested in sexual acts. Here's the scene that made me put this game down. I locked my first party member and enter a dialogue where I choose to level up, and this abruptly initiating an intimate scene with the character. I no longer had the option to skip or refuse. This is quite off-putting. This is what the main character wants, and he can do whatever. The problem is that the silent main character is much meant to be done in for you. Utter disregard for the player consent makes it an immediate 0 out of 10 or horrible joke. I do understand your grievances against the game. I'm gonna put my 2 cents on this. What you were expecting when you bought an H game? Grim doesn't have the option to say no. It's kind of like implied in the narrative of the story. But yeah, I understand that if you are a self-insert, obviously you have the option to remove the HS scenes if you don't want to. But obviously also it removes a lot of the narrative that can come with certain HS scenes. Okay, fair enough. You put the game down, you refunded it. You didn't like it. And I'll say make clap to you for showing us another perspective that we could have in Black Souls. I was told this game had an insanely good story in spite of the questionable content also present in the game. It, however, simply sucks. The story is edgy and cringe. The setting is a 1-1 Dark Souls ripoff. Combat is generic RPG Maker slop. I recommend buying this and anytime I wasted on trying it. Good. You cannot explain it better, your dissatisfaction with the game. Well done, funny. Wow, the Fear and Hunger community is here, eh? But I say the main difference between Fear and Hunger and Black Souls is simple. One is an RNG fest, and this one is a little bit more organized. I don't know what everyone likes about this. Maybe if you are into force aggressive banging with death as a result. Now thanks, the fun. You were banging the fairies, man. And it doesn't show up that you refunded the game. Some of you probably thought about playing this game with one hand, but in the end, you're gonna end up having both of your hands in cinema mode. Oh my god. Warning, game contains SA and a prison for holding your victims in. Somehow, this is not mentioned on the store page. That is fucking true. Product received for free. What, bro? How did you get the product for free? High Collective Shouts, big fan, and go F yourself. Collective Shouts is the Lord Voldemort of adult games, so please get it now before they start crying about this game and try to get this game banned. 11, 10, Fear and Hunger, Those were some of the reviews on Steam of Black Souls, and I'll say this: the community is completely unhinged. Let me get closer to you, my wife, Mugayu. I've been working really hard. Please give me your smiles, hugs, and everything. I need comforting. Bye!
Blocked a pebble, no pop, no cheer, just a syrupy puddle. Oh dear, Charleston's looking for a good wank to lift the spirits when the soda sank. Once you danced on tongues with glee, now you're just sweet goo. It's plain to see a shadow off your former zest. Tross inside, feeling